The shockwaves after the Delhi blast have barely settled. Now comes a horrifying update. 300 kilograms of ammonium nitrate explosives are still missing. But what's really alarming is the real target of this Islamic terror cell. A shocking report by India TV claims that the real targets were Hindu temples, not just in New Delhi, but ancient Indian cities of Ayodhya and Varanasi. This is why this Islamic terror mastermind Umar drove all across Delhi, and finally the Delhi blast happened meters away from the historic Gauri Shankar temple near the Red Fort. The world knows this was an Islamist terror attack in the heart of India.
It clearly was a terrorist attack, and it was a car loaded with highly explosive materials that detonated.
We will reveal how the real terror masterminds are operating from Pakistan and from Turkey. We will also tell you how these terror agents managed to get their hands on such huge quantities of explosives. So stay with us. Only 80 kilograms of explosives were in the car at the moment of the blast. With 2.9 tons or 2,900 kilograms, this Islamist terror cell could have caused as much devastation as the 2020 Beirut port explosion, which shook the world. We told you on day one, Red Fort did not appear to be the real target. In fact, it's closed on Monday. The real target had been Hindu temples, just like the 800-year-old Gauri Shankar temple in Delhi, which had survived even the foreign Mughal occupation. Reports claim their ultimate plan could have been to target either Ram Mandir in Ayodhya or create communal hatred by targeting ancient Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi, which was originally built 2,500 years ago. Sources told NDTV, quote, Umar Muhammad escaped from Faridabad after he came to know about the arrest of his accomplices from the Jaish module. Umar panicked and triggered the blast, unquote. But even in those last moments of panic, this Islamic terror agent made the final attempt to target devotees just meters away at the Gauri Shankar temple. Multiple reports have confirmed that the Delhi blast suspect Umar had links to the Faridabad terror module linked to Pakistan-based terror outfit Jaish or the JEM. India Today report highlights how the entire cell was being run by Jaish handlers sitting inside Pakistan as well as handlers based in Turkey. In fact, the Faridabad terror cell agents had travelled to Turkey to meet these handlers where the entire plan and conspiracy was allegedly hatched. And we know extremists in Pakistan and Turkey, to hide their own dark cult ideology, always in turn point fingers at India. Now personally, I think had they succeeded, they would have turned around and tried to blame Hindus for this tragedy. In 2008, Pakistan had sent terror agent Umar Kasab and 9 other Islamic terror agents disguised as Hindus. But Kasab was caught alive and the Pakistani terror plot was exposed. Pakistani government and intelligence agencies have been trying hard to flame the Hindu terror fake news.
India's Hindutva driven extremism pose a danger.
Unfortunately, they even have support of the 0.5 front in India, of course, without any evidence. Even this year, in 2025, the Pahalgam terror attack in April, Pakistani terror agents had been disguised as Indian troops. Islamabad even tried to claim it was a false flag before the Pahalgam attackers were again caught, cornered and eliminated, and one of them was exposed as a former Pakistani military commando. But the world knows it is Pakistan which harbors an ideology of hate and is home to numerous terror groups.
Major international terrorist attacks are traced back to that one country.
Now India warns, enough is enough. The Home Minister Amit Shah has warned Indian agencies will hunt down the masterminds behind the Delhi terror blast and the Faridabad terror cell. Operation Sindoor had crushed 11 Pakistani air bases and 9 terror headquarters back in May. This time, Indian agencies will hunt down the masterminds one by one who are hiding in Pakistan or Turkey and radicalizing misguided Indian Muslims. Now, even Erdogan and Turkey are rattled and have issued a clarification rejecting such reports. Ankara's Directorate of Communications states, quote, Turkey is linked to terror acts in India and provides logistical, diplomatic and financial support to terror groups are part of a malicious disinformation campaign aimed at damaging bilateral relations. But once again, it is widely known that Turkey funds Islamic extremism. This is a report on the European Parliament website, which states, quote, according to two Indian Security Service reports, Turkey is channeling funding into the activities of former ISIS members in India that are seeking to radicalize Indian Muslims and achieve large-scale destabilization through a transfer of know-how. To this end, the cooperation of dyed-in-the-wool radicals in Pakistan is being sought, unquote. China is one country which has managed to contain such kind of religious extremism. Many of our viewers have been commenting that India too must adopt the China model to prevent future terror attacks. In Pakistan, its generals are rattled and scared, fearing an Indian operation. Reports claim the Pakistani air chief has sent his family overseas. After all, the PAF was hammered by the Indian Air Force just a few months ago. This is similar to rattled Bunker Munir, who had sent his own family overseas during the India-Pakistan war in May. We'll tell you how the Indian Air Force and Indian Army are carrying out joint war games at the Pakistan border in Rajasthan. But will there be kinetic action this time or a more covert operation by intel agencies? First, let's get you the latest on the Delhi blast investigation. This video has sparked further speculation and suspicion among investigators. This shows terror agents of Pakistan-based UN-designated terror group Lashkar or LET attending a meeting in Kotli. The footage has surfaced from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK just hours after the Delhi blast, in which nearly a dozen people lost their lives. Seen here, the terror agents are celebrating. They are putting garlands on each other. But for what? Are they celebrating the terror attack outside the Red Fort in New Delhi? We know the radicalized doctors behind the Delhi blast had been indoctrinated by Jaish or JEM handler from Pakistan. But does this video also show coordination between Pakistan's two biggest UN-designated global terror groups? Do not forget that after Operation Sindoor strikes inside Pakistan, even the Pakistani military had attended the funerals of members of these terror groups. The Delhi Police and National Investigation Agency have found more leads in this case. The forensic team that collected samples from the blast site has confirmed that the car was driven by Umar Nabi, an Islamic radicalized doctor hailing from Pulwama. News agency ANI, based on Delhi police sources, had reported, quote, after the blast, his leg was stuck between the steering wheel and the accelerator. His DNA sample matched with his mother, unquote. Other DNA samples from the blast site included bones, teeth fragments and burnt clothing found in the smashed I-20 car and matched 100% with the samples taken from his mother as well as his brother. As the layers of the case unravels, teams are detaining people that are linked to the arrested radical Islamist terror agents. Earlier, the police had issued a lookout for a red EcoSport car which was believed to be owned by Umar's close associate. Later, the car was traced to a farmhouse in Khandawali village in Haryana. Forensic and ballistic teams are investigating this recovered vehicle as well. Another shocking revelation by India TV claims that nearly 300 kilograms of ammonium nitrate is still unrecovered. So far, 2,900 kilograms or 2.9 tons of explosives were found from various locations during a joint operation led by Jammu and Kashmir Police along with Haryana Police. But shockingly, 300 kilograms of explosives is still missing, and this has raised serious security concerns. A security official claimed that the situation is not fully safe. Take a good look at these terror agents that wanted to burn Bharat. There could be one or more of their associates still on the run. Now take a good look at the Hyderabadi Dr. Raisen and his associates. This is what radicalized terror agents look like. They wanted to poison water and prasad at Hindu temples in Lucknow, New Delhi and Ahmedabad. In Delhi, investigators have found that the seized consignment of explosives entered India through Bangladesh and Nepal. As per information coming in, suspect terrorists stole the substance from fertilizer companies before smuggling it through Indian borders. And while I praise our intel agencies for cracking this dark terror web, one must also ask the harsh questions. Just how could they smuggle explosive material in such large quantities through India's borders in the first place? Who backed them? Who failed to nab them at the border? Was India's border security compromised? Pakistan-based UN-designated terror group Jaish or JEM's poster suddenly appeared across Srinagar on the 19th of October. That is when security forces took it as a warning of significant consequences. Full credit must be given to Srinagar SSP Dr. GB Sundeep Chakravarti, who realized the signs immediately and charged this case under UAPA, Explosive Substance Act and Arms Act at Nogam Police Station. After investigating CCTV footage, 3 suspects were arrested, which further led to the arrest of Muzammil and his associates from Faridabad on the outskirts of the Indian capital. Son of a retired government medical officer, Dr. G.V. Ramagopal Rao, SSP Dr. Chakravarti studied medicine and served briefly as a doctor before putting on the police uniform. Muzammil's arrest shifted the focus on Al Falah University, where other suspects were arrested, leading to the recovery of 2.9 tons of explosives. Al Falah University Vice-Chancellor Dr. Bhupendra Kaur Anand released a statement saying, "We have learned that 2 of our doctors have been detained by investigating agencies. We wish to make it clear that the university has no connection with the said persons, apart from them being working in their official capacities with the university." Unquote. Room 13 in Building 17 of the Al Falah Medical College has become the center of investigation, as the room was occupied by prime suspect Muzammil and is believed by Delhi police to have been used for planning and coordinating this large-scale terror attack conspiracy. The second suspect, Umar Nabi Bhatt, who police claim is the alleged leader of this terror module, was behind the wheels of that car. He worked as a junior doctor at the same Al Falah University. Meanwhile, Shaheen Ansari has confessed to setting up the women's wing of JEM terror group led by Masood Azhar's sister from Pakistan. She allegedly was activating a sleeper module in Ayodhya with an aim to spark widespread religious tensions. Apart from targeting Hindu religious centers and high-profile sites in cities in Uttar Pradesh like Varanasi and Ayodhya, railway stations, shopping malls and Constitution Club in New Delhi were also on their radar. Investigators have also detained the Al Falah Mosque's Imam Muhammad Ishtiyaq. As per the Hindu report, this Imam has been taken to Jammu and Kashmir for further interrogation. The door-to-door searches also reveal that Muzammil reportedly was storing explosives and ammunition in the house owned by this Imam. India-Pakistan tensions are mounting after the Delhi blast. The Rajasthan government in India has just announced a 3-kilometer public movement ban near the border, while a rattled Pakistan has shut its airspace and put its forces on alert. This comes after Indian Army and Indian Air Force held a joint exercise to boost operational readiness. The Indian Army's Southern Command and Indian Air Force conducted Maru Jwala airborne exercise on the 12th of November, just a day after the Delhi tragedy. A statement released from the Southern Command stated the exercise demonstrated the synergized capabilities of the Indian Armed Forces in planning and executing complex airborne operations. The military drills in the deserts of Ramgarh and Jaisalmer in Rajasthan that also share the border with Pakistan is a strategic demonstration of multi-domain war-fighting capabilities. It also featured other military assets including T-90 Bhishma tanks, precision missiles, live firing drills, as well as operations by unmanned aerial vehicles or drones. During Operation Sindoor, Indian military showcased ability to readily strike any target deep inside Pakistan. Future wars could involve more ground operations and larger scale engagements. A senior army official stated, "With the terrain offering both opportunity and constraint, mastering airborne insertion and rapid buildup of combat power becomes a decisive factor in any contingency scenario." Unquote. The troops were transported by C-130J and AN-32 transport aircraft onto the battlefield, where armored units were already in place with an aim to create a realistic war situation. This represents a military tactic to insert troops behind enemy lines. The operation focused not only on tactical prowess but also on testing communication interoperability between services by using home-built platforms to enhance decision-making speed and connectivity. Maru Jwala also signaled the conclusion of broader tri-service military drills exercise Trishul all along the western border with Pakistan. The tri-service drill involved 20,000 Indian troops. Trishul exercise was meant to send a loud message to Islamabad that Indian troops remain ready to kickstart Operation Sindoor 2.0 at a moment's notice. But what do you believe? Will Pakistan ever give up cross-border terror? And should India adopt the China model to crush such religious extremism? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.